The past couple of years, the F1 game has not been up to standard. It's had many issues, especially F1 22, from the handling to the bugs. I mean, I'm not going to go into it, but you all know. EA announced that F1 23 would be coming to us this June, and I have been extremely privileged to get a preview copy of the game. Now, first things first, I do not have the full version of the game, so this is just purely a first impressions based on what I've been able to play so far. I've also taken part in the beta, which is kept under wraps, but I will try my best to give the best first impressions of the game and give you a full honest opinion on the game and if it is worth buying this year. Hi guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Han. I make gaming content on racing games, but I also make motorsport content on my other channel, so if you're into motorsport content, make sure to subscribe. The link will be in bio. But if you are here for gaming content alone, then this is definitely the place for you.
Max Verstappen, DRS wide open.
So starting off with the look of the game, it is very nice, very clean. I love the yellow. It's very similar design to F1 2020. If you remember the graphic details that were on there, it is very similar. Overall, the game looks pretty similar to F1 22 with a couple of additions to make it look a bit nicer, a bit cleaner. The menus have a slight update with the colour theme. They now match the cars. I can't remember if we used to have that, but I've just noticed it with this game. And the setups are slightly different. I will go over that in another video. All the cars are not finished, but they look pretty good. Again, the colour theme matches. Another thing that I like with this game, the equal performance. It has off and on. So F1 22 was one of the worst handling models I've played in recent F1 games, so this game does have a lot to live up to. I can, however, confirm the new handling model is a much more improved version. It's similar to F1 2020 with an easier to handle car. So much so that I'm currently driving around with no TC and I feel extremely comfortable not using it. The fear of unknown, the unexpected, is now gone with the cars being more predictable. You can now run over curbs a lot more than you ever could before without flying off or spinning off. It gives you time to correct yourself for any potential mistakes you make, and right here, yeah, that's flat. There are a couple of corners at Silverstone that I was massively impressed with the handling. It's just so much more responsive. It just gives you so much more downforce that you would expect from a high downforce racing car.
Okay, good job, mate. Really, really well done. That was a fantastic drive. Bring it home.
Off the line, the car still wants to oversteer, but it's much more controllable, allowing you to have more confidence from the off. Its handling round corners is a much more expected and fun experience, with the handling now providing the grip you'd expect from a high downforce racing car. Upshifting still helps, but overall you'll only really lose the car if you are too aggressive on the accelerator. The brakes are very similar to F2 cars, requiring a slightly earlier response on the brakes than previous games. However, this isn't a bad thing, it gives you more of a side of realism. The handling is still more on the arcade side, but that's to be expected from a simcade. This isn't a sim, so if you are expecting that level of handling, this game isn't for you. Overall, it's a joy to play F1 again, with all the aspects that you'd expect, but still the challenging bits that require practice. I haven't played on a controller yet, but I'm sure you'll find a lot of reviews from controller players. But the word is that it is definitely improvement on F1 22. Moist conditions are as difficult as ever, but it's not as difficult as F1 22. Again, more predictable cars, but make sure to brake early, as like me, you'll miss every corner.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
The damage model is pretty much the same, only slightly turned down, meaning on reduce, you're less likely to lose your front wing.
Drive-through penalty. You've got a drive-through penalty. I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate. Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals.
New for F1 23 is the ability to switch off first lap damage with other players. The AI will still be able to hit and gain damage, however the drivers will not be able to cause any damage to anyone else. The F2 cars are so much fun this year. I actually enjoy playing F2 more than F1. They feel similar to the F1 cars, just with a more difficult handling model. You have to be ahead of the car, think more before a corner in order to make it. It was lacking oversteer, and you only really spin off when you are too touchy with the accelerator. Overall, I think the F2 experience is slightly better than the F1 experience. It was just really fun to drive. Now we are in the preview stage of the game, and it is a couple of versions behind the beta. I didn't really find anything particularly wrong. Other than this, I thought this was slightly harsh with Max Verstappen. An illegal overtake. Now I don't know if that was because Max was off the track, but I didn't feel I did anything legal. So hopefully that's corrected when the full game is released. The only other problems to note was that Fanatec users were having particular problems with losing frames. Now this is something that EA are very aware of, and they have promised that on release there will be absolutely no problems. However, myself with a Thrustmaster, I haven't found any problems. The game was actually running at high quality, but my PC is at the bare minimum of specs, so if you have a less capable PC, this is pretty much what to expect. However, if you have a really good graphics card and a really good base for your computer, the graphics are going to be so much better than what you see on screen. Overall, I'm pretty impressed. They had a lot to live up to, with the new features coming and then finally getting the handling model sorted. I am very excited to play the full F1 23 game. There will be a full review coming up in the next upcoming weeks, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel for any further updates on the game. There will be more releases coming shortly with different aspects of the game. But for now, I will leave you with the last lap of the brilliant Brazilian Grand Prix on board with Fernando Alonso at Aston Martin. Thank you so much for watching.
Final lap. And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
So as they climb out of the car, the Red Bull team are ready and waiting to celebrate a thoroughly deserved win. What do you think it was today, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.